Have you ever just stopped, looked around at everything, and asked yourself, what is all of this, really? It's probably the most human question there is. And for thousands of years, we've tried to answer it by creating these incredible maps of reality. Today, we're going to explore two of the most profound and elegant maps ever drawn.
So let's just dive right into the deep end. What is the true nature of reality? Is the universe we live in a grand divine cascade flowing down from one single perfect source? Or is it more like a vast, intricate web where everything only exists because of everything else, and nothing truly stands on its own?
To help us explore these two massive ideas, we've got two amazing guides. First up, we have the 11th century Persian philosopher Nasir Khosrow. He's going to walk us through a hierarchical cosmos, a reality that flows down from God. And our second guide is the ancient wisdom of the Buddhist Heart Sutra, which reveals a totally different picture, an interconnected reality where everything is, believe it or not, empty. Two guides, two maps, one reality. Let's get into it.
All right, first, let's look at Khosrow's map. His whole vision is based on this idea of emanation. The best way to picture it is like a divine waterfall, or maybe a cosmic ladder, with each rung descending from an ultimate, unknowable source at the very top. It's a universe that has structure, it has purpose, and everything has its perfect place.
So, how does this cosmic waterfall actually work? Well, it all starts at the very, very top with God, the originator. This source is so transcendent that it's beyond our tiny human concepts of being or not being. Then, from that source, the very first thing is created, the universal intellect. Now, this is basically the master blueprint for all of reality. It contains the perfect idea or archetype of everything that could ever exist. And if you know your Western philosophy, this should sound super familiar. It's incredibly close to Plato's theory of forms. From this intellect comes the universal soul. And it's the soul's movement, its deep yearning to get back to that original perfection that actually creates time, space, and finally, this physical world that we all experience.
Okay, so if we're all living at the bottom of this cosmic ladder, how in the world do we climb back up? For Khosrow, the answer is a really important concept called ta'wil. Think of it as a special kind of interpretation. He believed that everything we see in the physical world, what he called the zahir, or the outer shell, is really just a symbol. It's pointing to a deeper hidden spiritual truth, the batin, or the inner kernel. So through ta'wil, you use your intellect and spirit to read these symbols, to trace them all the way back to their origin, and to climb that ladder of reality one rung at a time.
And now, let's put that map away and pull out a completely different one. If Khosrow's universe is a vertical ladder, the Buddhist vision from the Heart Sutra is a horizontal, infinitely connected web. In this view, absolutely nothing stands alone. Nothing has its own fixed, independent identity. Every single thing you can think of exists only because of its relationship to everything else.
And this brings us to probably the most famous, the most profound, and, let's be honest, the most confusing line in all of Buddhist thought. Form is emptiness, emptiness is form. Now, this isn't just a clever riddle. This is the absolute core of the whole idea. It means that the physical world of stuff we see and touch, the world of form, isn't separate from this ultimate reality of emptiness. They are literally two sides of the very same coin.
Now, it's really easy to hear emptiness, or shunyata, and think of a dark, empty void, just nothingness. But that's not it at all. It's much more subtle. Think of it as no-thingness. The idea is that if you take any object or any thought and you really examine it, you'll never find a solid, permanent, independent thing at its core. It's like an onion. You can peel away layer after layer after layer, but you'll never find some central onion pit. The onion just is all of its layers.
So this idea of no-thingness leads directly to this principle of dependent origination. Think about a flower, right? It can't exist without the sun, the soil, the water, the air. It has no independent flowerness all on its own. And this applies to us too. The Heart Sutra says the 5 things that make up our sense of self, our body, our feelings, our thoughts, our consciousness, they're all empty of a separate essence too. And this leads to the really radical conclusion of anatta, or no self. That feeling of I at the center of your universe, it's just a byproduct of all these other processes working together. Kind of like the ticking sound a clock makes. The ticking is happening for sure, but there's no little ticker inside making it happen.
And right here, this is where we get to the heart of the matter. This is the big philosophical showdown that gets super personal. Who or what are we really? Is there a real, lasting you deep down inside, or is that feeling of a self just a temporary illusion?
On this question, our two maps just point in completely opposite directions.
For Khosrow, your soul is absolutely real. It's a genuine piece of that universal soul just here in the physical world for a while on a mission to learn, purify itself, and climb back up to its home. But for Buddhism, that idea is the root of all our problems. The I is just a convenient name we give to a constantly shifting bundle of mental and physical events. I mean, this is a massive challenge to so much of Western thought, especially someone like Descartes, who famously said, "I think, therefore I am." He put the thinking I at the very center of reality. Buddhism looks at that same experience and says, well, thinking is happening, but can you actually find the I that's doing the thinking?
Hey everyone, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what you think. Your support really means a lot and helps me keep creating content for you all. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Okay, so we've got these two totally different views on reality and on who we are. The next logical question has to be, how do you actually realize any of this is true? What's the path to really knowing?
And you guessed it, the paths they recommend couldn't be more different. Khosrow's way is all about the intellect. You use your reason, guided by a wise teacher, to decode the world using ta'wil. It's a gradual, step-by-step climb where you acquire more and more knowledge. The Buddhist path, though, is all about direct, personal insight, usually through meditation. It isn't about adding more knowledge on top. It's about seeing past all your concepts and knowledge to have a sudden, immediate flash of understanding.
This difference even goes all the way down to how they view language itself. For Khosrow, language, especially in holy texts, is like a treasure chest. It's packed with hidden truths. You just need the right key to wheel, to open it. But the Heart Sutra is really skeptical about words. It sees language as a kind of net, but a net with holes so big that the ocean of reality just flows right through it. Ultimate truth can't be spoken or grasped with words. You know, it reminds me of the 20th century philosopher Wittgenstein, who basically said that language is a limited game, and the most important things in life are the ones we can't even talk about.
So, after laying out all these huge contrasts, you might be thinking these two worldviews are just totally incompatible. But, and this is where it gets really fascinating, as we get closer to what they both consider ultimate reality, we start to find these surprising moments where the two paths almost seem to merge way off in the distance.
Just look at where they overlap. Both Khosrow and the Heart Sutra agree that whatever ultimate reality is, it's beyond our simple little mental boxes like being and not being. They also both see our everyday world as a kind of illusion. For Khosrow, it's a shell hiding a kernel of truth. For Buddhism, the world of form is empty. And maybe most importantly, they both insist that this journey is internal. It's all about personal transformation and direct first-hand understanding.
But, and this is a really big but, let's be clear, despite these surprising similarities, their core structures are fundamentally different. Khosrow's system is theistic. It starts with God. Buddhism is non-theistic. Khosrow's universe is a top-down hierarchy. The Buddhist universe is a flat web of interdependence. And this all leads to that final crucial difference. For Khosrow, a real soul finds perfection by uniting with God, while for Buddhism, the illusion of a self dissolves into total liberation. So we are left with two powerful, beautiful, and completely different maps of reality. One is a ladder leading up to God. The other is a web of infinite connection. And both of them, in the end, seem to point beyond themselves, to a truth that can't ever be fully captured in words or diagrams, which leaves us with one final and maybe unanswerable question. If all our maps of reality, no matter how profound they are still just maps, what is the actual territory they're trying to describe? What lies beyond the map?